Good morning, dear students. Dear students, in our previous class in the subject 7th standard science, we studied that the concept of reproduction in plants. In that chapter, we studied that two concepts. That is, there are two types of reproduction will be there: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, we studied five different methods, but in sexual reproduction, we studied that two different methods, that is unisexual reproduction and bisexual reproduction. So unisexual reproduction means either male or female reproductive part will be there. Bisexual reproduction means both male and female reproductive part will be there in the flower. So that means in the plant, flower is the main reproductive part. So by the process of pollination, there will be a reproduction takes place. That means transfer of pollen grains from stamen to stigma. That is in the anther of the stamen to the stigma of the carpels. In this process, pollination will be takes place. After the pollination, fertilization will be takes place. After the fertilization, there will be a formation of zygote. Then that is converted into seeds, and that after that is converted into fruit. This is the method we have studied in the previous class, and also we studied one more method that is responsible of pollination, that is air, wind, water, and also insects and birds are the responsible for the pollination of the plants, that is from transfer of pollen grains. And also we studied how the pollen grains transformation will be takes place by the action of these wind, water, birds and insects. We have studied in the previous class. These are very important in that work. Structure of the flower. Which flower? Hibiscus, Rosa cyanosis or China rose flower is very important for your examination purpose. So today we shall move on to the next topic, that is motion and time. Motion means chalane anta ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ, and time means ಕಾಲ. ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ತಕ್ಕಂತೆ ಚಲನೆಯನ್ನು ಆಗೋದು. What do you mean by motion and what do you mean by time? What are the concepts comes under this chapter, motion and time? We are going to study one by one. So in this class, I think we are going to study just the introduction. So first one, topic to be covered. That means what are the topics to be covered in this chapter? So when we are going to see, so we are covering is, that is topic to be covered in this chapter is, first one is introduction, that means what is motion and examples for motion and so on. Second one is motion, that is define motion, chalane ಎಂದರೇನು. And next one is slow and fast motion, ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಧಾನ ಮತ್ತು ವೇಗ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನಿಧಾನ ಚಲನೆ ಮತ್ತು ವೇಗವಾದ ಚಲನೆ. ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ದೂರ, ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ವೇಗ, ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್. ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್, ದೂರ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಲವನ್ನು ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಗ್ರಾಫನ್ನು ಹಾಕೋದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಓಡೋಮೀಟರ್. ಓಡೋಮೀಟರ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಸ್, that indicates how much that bike is traveling, that will be indicates. So we are going to study these concepts in this chapter, that is motion and time. So first one is introduction, motion, slow and fast motion, distance, speed, distance time graph, and also last one is odometer. So first one, what is motion? Chalane ಎಂದರೇನು? So that is change of position with time. So define motion means change of position with time. With time the position of the object will be changes, then that indicate that there is an motion, chalane agide. With respect to time, for example, if you take the fan, if you switch on the table fan here, this one will be changes their position. If you switch on the fan, this will comes to here, comes to here. This is continuously rotating. That means this continuously this one changes the position of that place. Here will be there, when you switch on the fan, it will be rotated like this. Once again that comes to the original place. Like that continuously they change their position with respect to time. That is this blade. So this blade will comes here, then here, then here, then here, but once again here. Like this will be rotate when you switch on the fan, or when you rotate the blades of the fan. If you take this blade will be continuously changes their position with respect to time. This is one example for motion. So if they ask what is motion, you should write change of position with time. Change of position with time called as motion. Example is a moving blade in a fan. Second one example, the moving car. So here, for example, the car will be at a position A. If that car moves from the position A, that reaches here, and finally that goes here. See here, this car is moving car. Yes, this car already reaches the position B. See, so that is change in the position. So we already told that change of position. Define motion means, or what is motion means. Motion means change of position. That will be changes position from here to the here. Changes position from here to the here is called as motion. So see here, this car will be moves from here to the here. So here fingers of here, the fingers that are typing in the laptop, that fingers continuously changes that position. That's also an example for motion. So football player, that is changing the ball of the ball when a football player kick that ball, and in the running race continuously their position will be changes from one end to the other end, or direction of the ball will be changes, and fingers are changing their position when they are typing with the keyboard in laptop, continuously changing their position. So then, describing motion of an object. Describing motion of an object. In order to describe the motion, position needs to be defined. So that means, so we have to define the motion of an object. That means we have to define how the cycle will be moved from one end to the another end, whether it may be moving fast or moving slow. So how to be described means, in order to describe the motion, we should require position needs to be defined. First we need to define the position. What is the position of that vehicle with respect to time? With respect to time. So then what do you mean by position? Position means point at which the object is located at a particular instant of time. That means point where the object will be located at particular instant of time. ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ದಿಷ್ಟ ಅವಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಸ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಲೊಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್. So this position is very important to describe the motion of an object. That means for the describing motion of an object, the time is very important. That means position is point at which object is located, where the object is located. Then see here the object is from A that moves to the point P. Your object is located here, and change that position from A to the B with respect to time. That's very important. That is, position of the object is very important with respect to time. So on the basis of that, we are going to define one more concept, that is fast versus slow motion. Fast versus slow motion. So if we take the two different cars, car A and car B, if the car A that will be reach the point P, or that will be moved from the point A to the point B, and this car also that moves from point A to the point B. if this first one red car moves from point A to the point B, that takes the time half an hour to reach from A to the point B. If this blue car that changes the position from the point A to the point B, that takes the time of same distance will be there from A to B, that takes the time of 15 minutes to reach that point. Then in these two we are going to indicate that this red car will be will move very fast, but this red car is slow moved, and that reaches somewhat later than this blue car. That means this reached 15 minutes later than this blue car. That is the concept of fast and slow. Fast means speed of the car is maximum, and slow means speed of the car is minimum. Then for that concept, fast concept, what is faster? What is faster? That is, faster means distance moved by object in a given interval of time. Distance moved by an object in a given interval of time decides which one is faster or slower. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅದು ಚಲನೆಯಲ್ಲಿರಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ದೂರವನ್ನು ಕ್ರಮಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ದಿಷ್ಟ ಅವಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಫಾಸ್ಟರ್ ವೇಗ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಗಿವನ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ಬೈಕ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್, ಹಿಯರ್ ಬೈಸಿಕಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. ಬೈಸೈಕಲ್ we call that one. What is faster? This is best example. So if they ask what is faster means, you should write distance moved by, see here, distance moved by objects in a given interval of time decides which one is faster or slower. So faster means distance moved by an object in a given interval of time. So for example, this bike covers 3 kilometers in 5 minutes, and this bicycle covers 2 kilometers in 5 minutes. Then in these two, this bike will be moves very faster, and this bicycle will move very slow. So see here, the covered distance, both bicycle and cycle, that covers a distance in 5 minutes, but bicycle covered 3 kilometers and this cycle covered 2 kilometers. So that means this bicycle moved very slow and this bike moves very fast. So this is the fast and slower concept. So how to calculate the speed of the object? On the basis of speed of the object, we are going to indicate that which one is moving faster and which one is moving slower. So we took one example, that is speed means rate at which an object covers distance. Rate at which an object covers distance. That means object covers how many distance. So here speed is scalar quantity. Formula used to calculate the speed is distance covered by time taken. If you calculate this one, you will get the speed of the car. Speed of the car. So define speed. If they ask, you should write rate at which an object covers distance. Rate at which an object covers distance called as speed, and this speed is scalar quantity. That means it have only magnitude, not a direction. So vector quantity means that has both magnitude and direction. So this car doesn't have a direction. Where you should reach, you should take that direction. That means the direction of the car will be changes. And formula used to calculate the speed is distance covered by time taken. That is distance covered by time taken. So for example, if the car covers 50 kilometer in 1 hour, 50 kilometer in 1 hour, so we should calculate the speed of the car. So formula is speed is equal to distance covered by time taken. So speed of the car is, first distance covered is 50 kilometer by speed of the car is 1 hour. So if you divide this one by this, 1 ones are 1, 150 is a 50 kilometer per hour. The speed of the car is 50 kilometer per hour. So one more example. So if the bicycle discovers or that reaches from home to this shop, that is McDonald's shop, there will be a 2 kilometer distance from his home to the here. So to reach from his home to this McDonald's, he took 10 minutes. He took 10 minutes. So if we take 10 minutes to cover or to reach the 2 kilometer means how many kilometer he will cover in 1 hour. So that means we have to calculate the speed of the bicycle to reach how many kilometers in 1 hour. So speed is equal to distance covered by time. That is distance he covered is 2 kilometer by 10 minutes. By so they given in the minutes, we should write in the hours. So divided by 60, that gives 10 ones are 10, 6 are 6 2s are 12, that is 12 kilometers per hour. So he is traveling, the speed of the bicycle is 12 kilometers per hour. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಬೈಸಿಕಲ್ಲು 12 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಗಂಟೆಗೆ 12 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಬೈಸಿಕಲ್ಲು 10 ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರನ್ನು ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. 10 ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು 1 ಗಂಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 12 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕವರ್ಡ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 2 kilometer by time taken is 10 minutes. So we should write in the form of hours means divided by 10 minutes divided by we should divide into 60 minutes. Then you get 12 kilometers per hour. 1 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ 12 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ವೇಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್? ನೋ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಲೋ. ಅದು ತುಂಬ ವೇಗ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ, ನಿಧಾನವಾದ ಚಲನೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಗ್ರಾಫಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಗ್ರಾಫ್? ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ನಕ್ಷೆ ಎಂದರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ದಟ್ ಶೋಸ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್. ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ದಟ್ ಶೋಸ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್. ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ಗಳ ಮತ್ತು ರಿಲೇಷನ್, ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸೋದು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸಿಯರ್, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇಯರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೀಚಸ್ ಟು ದ ಎ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ದಟ್ ರೀಚ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ 10 minutes, and from A to B, and next point from A to B, A ಇಂದ ಬಿಗೆ ರೀಚ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟ್ರ್ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಲ್ಲಿ? 2 kilometer ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತು. ಎ ಇಂದ ಬಿಗೆ 2 kilometer ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಹೌ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ ದಟ್ ಕಾರ್ ರೀಚಸ್ 32 kilometer in next 30 minutes. That means that car took 30 minutes. And from B to the final point, that is only 1 kilometer distance will be there. To reach this 1 kilometer, finally that car took 5 minutes. ಅದು 5 ನಿಮಿಷವನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದೆ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ದ ಆರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಶೋ ದ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಾರ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆದರ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್. ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ನೋಡಿ, ಫಸ್ಟು 1 kilometer 10 minutes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. But second point from A to B 2 kilometers that took 30 minutes. That means speed of the car is decreased. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, at the end from B to X ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? from B to X last 1 kilometer will be there. To reach this 1 kilometer that car took 5 minutes. 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ತಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. Here 1 second the speed of the car is increased from starting to the end point. From starting to the end point, the speed of the car is changes, alva. So to indicate this one in, we have to indicate this one in this graph, that is distance time graph, that is dt graph. Dt graph means distance time graph. Here time always in minutes, and here this is called as x axis, this is called as y axis. this is time in minutes, this is distance in kilometer. So time in minutes and distance in kilometer here. So it varies, starting varies from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and so on. So we have to write the time in minutes: 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. Here origin, that is O or 0. So here 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. This is speed of the car. First 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer, 4 kilometer and so on. First we have to indicate, first in 10 minutes that car covers 1 kilometer. Here 1 kilometer in 10 minutes. And next 2 kilometer in 30 minutes. 2 kilometer in 30 minutes. Here 30 minutes is there. Here 2 kilometers will be comes here. Next 1 kilometer in 5 minutes, that will be comes here. So that indicates that speed of the car, first one is increased very fast, then that is decreased, then at the final is here that speed of the car is increased. That's why this line is moves upward. ಇದು upward ಮೇಲೋಗಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಹೀಗೆ ಮೇಲೋಗಿದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆದರೆ that will be line will be increases. If the speed of the car is increases, this line also moves upward. Okay, like this we are going to indicate the speed of the car by distance time graph. If they ask in examination, may or may not be, they will ask, but they ask what is speed and write the formula for the speed. What is speed and write the formula for the speed. So one more example, dear students, motion of the earth. It's very important. See, sun is rotation of the earth around its axis and revolution of the earth around the sun. They given two concepts. So rotation and revolution, these two are the example of the motion, because this earth, they rotate their own axis. ಅಂದರೆ ತನ್ನ ಕಕ್ಷೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಭೂಮಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ತಿರುಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ನೋ ದಟ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ರೊಟೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಸನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ರಿವಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದ ಸನ್. ಭೂಮಿಯು ಸೂರ್ಯನ ಸುತ್ತ ತಿರುಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಭೂಮಿಯ ಚಲನೆ ಎರಡು ರೀತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬೋತ್ rotation and revolution. That means if the earth rotates its own axis, that is called as rotation. That sun rotates on around the sun, that concept is called as revolution. That means both are example of motion. ಚಲನೆ ಅಂತೀವಲ್ವ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎರಡು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So in this one, introducing speed, that is speed concept is very important. So define speed means you should write. So define speed means you should write rate at which an object covers distance. ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುವು ಎಷ್ಟು ದೂರವನ್ನು ಕ್ರಮಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾಲಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ವೇಗ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲಾರ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರಿಮಾಣ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಡಸಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಟೈಮ್ ಟೇಕನ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಟೈಮ್ taken. And this is an example for how to calculate the speed of an object. Okay, and today's homework is right down, students. Today's homework is define speed, or what do you mean by speed? Write the formula used to calculate the speed of an object. Write the formula used to calculate the speed of an object. And third question is list out the different types of motion. List out the different types of motions. So these are the three questions for your today's homework. So you should compulsory write the answer for these three questions. Okay, thank you, students.